Now, Donald Trump has said that the United States will work with Iran to extract the buried nuclear dust. In a Truth Social post on X, Trump said, and I quote him here, "The United States will work closely with Iran, which we have determined has gone through what will be a very productive regime change. There will be no enrichment of uranium, and the United States will, working with Iran, dig up and remove all of the deeply buried nuclear dust. It is now and has been under very exacting satellite surveillance. Nothing has been touched from the date of the attack. We are and will be talking tariff and sanctions relief with Iran, and many of the 15 points have already been agreed to." This is what Donald Trump has put out in his Truth Social post, that the United States will now work very closely with Iran, as he says, to try and extract the nuclear dust that is buried deep near the nuclear sites of Iran that have been bombed by the Americans. And also, we expect the American War Secretary, Pete Hegseth, to address the media in just a bit and give more details on what is unfolding at this moment. Remember, there is a ceasefire at this moment, but this is a ceasefire for a period of about 2 weeks. And in the interim, the Americans and the Iranians will try and hammer out some kind of a negotiated deal. Can there be a negotiated deal? Is, of course, a big question mark, because Donald Trump in his social media post had said that the basis of the negotiations will be the 10-point plan that the Iranians had, in fact, proposed. The details of that 10-point plan were published in the Iranian media, and these details are pretty interesting, to say the least, because Donald Trump, remember, has often contradicted himself from one moment to the next with respect to how he has gone about with the war and also with the negotiations. And in the span of the last 10 months, what we have witnessed is the United States and Israel have staged attacks on the Iranians in the middle of negotiations. So just because there are negotiations does not mean that the war has permanently come to an end. What is different this time round is that the American military bases in the Gulf nations have taken a fair bit of a beating. Israelis have also suffered some damage. There is no satellite data that is being published about the kind of damage that the Israelis have suffered in the Iranian missile attacks. The Iranians have taken some heavy beating as well because of the American firepower that has been unleashed on them for the last 5+ weeks. And now for Donald Trump, of course, after having warned Iran that Iran's power infrastructure and also its possibly desalination plants and civilian infrastructure like bridges will be bombed, and there would be a civilization that could be wiped out, referring to the Iranians. Trump, of course, in the 11th hour and 59th minute said that there have been some good negotiations and the two sides will try and hammer out some kind of a negotiated deal. How will things progress is something that remains to be seen, but Donald Trump changes his mind faster than a fish probably changes its mind. So it now remains to be seen as to how things will proceed from here, and we need to wait and watch out for as to what Trump has to say. But